Sup, Solutionaries? Welcome everybody to the Maj 2 Show. It's Tuesday, September the 2nd, 2025. We got 59 days left for our fundraiser. For you guys that's tapping in, y'all know the routine. Support the work, givesingo.com/solutionary, as well as share the space all over the place, man. If you're watching on X, just hit that repost button. If you're watching on YouTube, share it to somewhere else. But either way, share the space all over the place. 59 days, like I said, y'all. 59 days. Fundraising, we got a goal. We got 59 days to get this building bought. For those of y'all that don't know what I'm talking about when I say this, I'll give clarity. And I want everybody to ask any questions that you got in the comments section about our work at BGM, firearms safety, conflict resolution, de-escalation. All of the classes that we've done over the last 8 years have been because of you guys' support, and we at the last little bit, guys. We've been 7-8 years of doing this. Every single class has been free to all. So we are now trying to buy our Solutionary Center. We had a scare. We pushed for the month of July. We thought the owner was going to sell it to somebody else, and that deal didn't go through. So Reese, thank you. What's up? Afternoon. Big Rob, what's up? Q-Tips Gaming, what's up? Q-Tips, I think you signed up for our affiliate program yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I think you shot me a DM or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Everybody, there's a bunch of value you'll get from the show tonight. I want everybody to make money off our merch. If you after the show, everybody can shoot me a DM, especially if you're on X. Got my phone right here. Shoot me a DM and I'll send you a link to make money off the merch, to promote the message of liberty, to whatever, the things that we'll talk about tonight. So anyway, tonight's show is a little bit stranger because obviously you guys know we talk about politics, we talk about anything that's tied into a solution, whether it's political, whether it's entertainment, pop culture, doesn't matter. If it's talked about on our show, it's discussed to turn it into a solution, okay? It's important. What's up, Quantel? I got you. It's very important for us to make sure that we are having discussions that are in alignment with us improving ourselves. And because the attack is holistic, if I'm talking about, I don't know, Bill Gates buying up a gang of farmland, I'm talking about that for a reason, and then we tie it into a solution. Hopefully you all are going to tap into Solutionary University, get a part of that private community. That's what Quantel's talking about. My point in saying all of this is, tonight's show is going to have a little bit of a weave. It's going to have a weave, and I don't mean like cheap weave that hood ratchet joints wear. I mean weave in the sense of going in and out. We're going to talk about a few things in these new email leaks from Epstein's and his secret surveillance network. This video that I have up here, this guy did a pretty decent job of connecting some things. Some of the stuff y'all going to disagree with. Y'all are going to disagree with some of the things that he says about Trump. This one I actually did. So this isn't a reaction video per se, but I actually did watch through this, 5 minutes or so of this video. Y'all going to agree with some of it. Y'all going to disagree with it. But this die-hard fight to make it look as if the Epstein client list isn't a thing that has happened by the Trump administration after years and years and years of them saying that this is the biggest thing. Same thing with Dan Bongino. Same thing with, Kash Patel. They get into office or they get into a cabinet position and they do a 180. And then we see in all of these other discussions, we're having a conversation now about a mass shooting, which not saying that we can't chew bubblegum and think at the same time. But I think it's important that when we chew bubblegum and we are walking at the same time, we remember where we're going. And if we go somewhere to chew bubblegum and go on a side quest for a minute, we get back to the main mission. And the main mission is always about protecting our young people, defending our rights, strengthening our economy, building with your neighbors, solutionary shit, okay? So we're going to go through this video a little bit about these disturbing new Epstein emails and his drop. And it ties some people in together. Tonight we're going to talk about Elon, because this is all connected. And I hate to sound like the conspiracy theorist, even though I think that word is a positive phrase. That's a phrase that was crafted by the CIA to make sure that critical thinking wouldn't be a thing. So I'm going to go around and do some weaving tonight. This conversation is going to have connections with Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Donald Trump, Epstein, some of those financial connections, and it won't be too long because this one will not be as exciting and passionate. But I think it's important for us to talk about these networks because when you think about a thing, I had a conversation with back and forth today, a good one with Dan Holloway. It's actually been over the last few days on X. When we talk about these networks of things, it sharpens how we think about the approach as it relates to how people or these networks of powerful individuals will throw 5, 10 years, 20 years worth of plan at you and making sure that the connections are there. All right. So this goes into our conversation about anti-gun agenda. Of course, an anti-gunner will hire someone that looks like they're right of center to say things like, we need more red flags on transgenders. Because a transgender, if it happens to be a white male identifying as a woman, still a white male. The red flag laws are still going to be the red flag laws, regardless. So when you start thinking about things from a network and a chessboard, if you guys ever read Zbigniew Brzezinski's The Grand Chessboard, if you don't know who Zbigniew Brzezinski is, you should 1000% look into him. This is a great book that he wrote. He's an evil dude. He's dead now, but it's called The Grand Chessboard. When you look at the game from a chessboard, like tonight's conversation will be, you'll sharpen your ability and you'll stop thinking that these things are not connected. Okay? I do not think that these things are. I never think that. I never think that. So when we're making a mistake in our PR or our messaging, that conversation I was saying that me and Dan were having, that back and forth civil discourse, right? When I'm saying, hey, to argue a race-based perspective about what is a mass shooter, because now the mass shooting definition has changed again, right? And the anti-gunners will say, well, mass shooting is anybody where 3 or more people are harmed and da-da-da-da, because they want to make it seem like they want to help Chicago. So they'll call gang violence a mass shooting, but they have their agenda over here. If you know how to play chess, you got to pay attention to the whole chessboard. And sometimes people will set some moves up over here, and you'll inadvertently say, yeah, the issues that are happening in urban America, those dudes are black, and that's mass shooting too. Don't just blame it on the white dudes. You say that because you're attacked by the left, not knowing that you're playing into a bigger chess move. So tonight's conversation will be in alignment with you sharpening your skill. If you're tapping into the Maj 2, my job is to help you sharpen your skill and looking at how this network, this spider web that they try to encapsulate us in, how it works. You think you're making one move, but you're making another move. Okay? You think because Trump said central bank digital currencies are bad, right? Because he verbalized that. You think that that means that they're done with it because he said this over here, but not looking at other types of cryptos that the stable coins are pretty much the same thing as central bank digital currencies. But if you're not paying attention and developing the skill set to pay attention to their networks and nets and spider webs, you think because they said this, that means that it's done. No, we said this because we were quiet about, you started talking about central bank digital currencies too fast, but the conversation around stable coins are not happening the same way. So now the legislation will be stable coins to get you all the way off of Bitcoin. I'm not talking about crypto. I'm talking about Bitcoin. To not have you talk about Bitcoin. We got a Bitcoin ATM in the Solutionary Center. Bitcoin can potentially be one way, and we're not going to take the thought process out that maybe Bitcoin at a certain point or anything could be a trap. My point is, tonight's conversation is designed to connect some things that you have not been talking about, and they've been a masterful media blitz to make you. When was the last time y'all talked about the Epstein files? We haven't. We talked about a shooting. We talked about this. We talked about that. So to bring back to some of these things, which is allegedly arguably, the argument has been that Epstein has been one of the most prolific sexual traffickers tied to intelligence agencies for decades over. Then he magically kills himself. Then all of the people that take an administration then say, oh, it's nothing. Look over here. It's the same as why did Tower number 7 fall in 9/11? So, but not to get too conspiracy theorist, and I don't want to go too far, but let's have this conversation tonight, starting with this video here. Now, the brother whose video it is, you guys, he has 1.96 million subscribers, Secular Talk. If you get some value from it, we always try to make sure that you give them a follow, you check them out, because I'm using their content. All right, so we're going to play through this. We're going to bring up some points. This is about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to jump around a little bit. But I don't think, how many people, by show of hands, how many people in the chat actually know who Peter Thiel is? Let's ask that question first, because it's an important question. All of you know who Elon Musk is. Cool. But I want to hear from some people in the chat who knows who Peter Thiel is, who knows the extent that the Epstein client list is, how many people do or don't know who Jeffrey Epstein was, why these emails are important, why this conversation needs to be had. But let's engage. Let's talk in the comment section, toss out questions. And also, guys, when you get some value from the show tonight, givesendgo.com/solutionary. What's up, Bookworm? Put it on the chat. I'm going to throw the link up. Bookworm, if you can, throw the link up in the chat. I'm going to throw it on the screen. Support the work, guys. We got 59 days to buy this building. Quantel says he got $50 for tonight's show if 10 people will match him. Quantel got, so let's get 10 folks to match. That's $500 for tonight's show going towards our work. Very, very important. Okay? Q-Tips Gaming says, heard that he was connected with a lot of visuals. He is. Himinica says, hey, Maj, I know this Epstein thing is big, but Chicago needs another visit. Yeah, that was wild. I heard about that. 54 shot, 7 dead over Labor Day weekend. Wild. I'm trying to get back to Chicago. Once we get this goal done, the concentration over, before I move on, let me say this real quick to everybody. The concentration for the next 59 days is 1,000% going to be us hitting this goal. I hate not finishing some shit. I hate it. We are this close. I want y'all to understand that we, with our work, our community work, we're going to get into tonight's show for sure. If you're watching on X, please hit the repost button. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button. We've done classes in Chicago over the years. They've been very productive. We haven't been in Chicago in a while. But the next 59 days is very, very clear that we need to knock off this goal, finish this goal, make another offer for the building with more money. And if we don't get that building, I'm going to be very clear. I'm going to get on the road and hit 2 cities a week like we used to do doing Second Amendment. I'm going to spend all of the money back on Second Amendment shit if we don't buy this building, this remainder. I'm going to take a loan out, right? We're going to focus all of that. We're going to put that money up that we would have paid for this. We're going to put that towards something else. We're going to flip, going to make good investments. And I'm going to try to get in 2 cities every fucking week. Because we saw traction with BGM. And we do see traction. We shifted that narrative. This work is not done. So for the next 59 days, y'all, I'm going to sound like a broken record. How you can help our work is funding it with money. Quantel just of his own volition. Yo, I got $50. Let's get 9 people to match him. That's $500. It may seem like it's a little bit until you start recognizing when you're doing a class and each class needs to have pens and handouts and food, that $500 can go towards those things. So it's very important. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Make sure you guys tap in and support the work. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to be passionate tonight. And I'm going to give y'all everything. Win, lose, or draw. At the end of October the 31st at midnight, we either going to hit the goal and, buy the building, or we're going to hit the goal and somebody outbids us, whatever. or we going to hit the goal and get back in the street doing firearms training hard as hell. Okay? Guys, also, your comments are showing up in the chat automatically on the screen. So say stuff, engage. Let's hit that like button. Let's engage. But let's play this real quick. Let me know in the comment section if the audio is cool, because every so often we get something weird happening. But let's play this, and I'll pause and
major Epstein news that dropped the other day that I wanted to share with you. So take a look at this. Breaking: a major leak of 100,000 emails from former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak shows he and Jeffrey Epstein discussed meeting with Palantir founder Peter Thiel. Quote, trying to arrange it so the security guys will not come with us to the island.
And y'all know what fucking island he's talking about.
Wow. This is a big deal. First of all, what we learned is that Ehud Barak, the former Israeli prime minister, and Jeffrey Epstein were super close. They talked all the time. So that's one of the things we learned. The other thing is, Epstein trying to reach out to Peter Thiel, it has to do with investments in mass surveillance. So look at this. Epstein's surveillance ventures. Leaked emails from 2015 reveal Epstein's attempts to enter the surveillance industry, partnering with former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak to invest in Reporty, Homeland Security, now Carbyne. He sought connections with global figures like Peter Thiel and individuals in Vladimir Putin's circle. The emails show a friendly, informal relationship between Epstein and Barak, including discussions about Barak visiting Epstein's private island, Little St. James, in 2014. Barak tried to arrange for his security detail to stay behind, raising questions about the nature of his visits.
We know what the nature of the visit is. Now, this is all connected. When you're talking about Peter Thiel, who's a transhumanist, give me something in the comment section if you don't understand what a transhumanist is. Peter Thiel co-founded PayPal with who? Elon Musk. Elon Musk has this little thing called Neuralink, where he wants to put a microchip in your brain. So we're talking about the transhumanist agenda. We're talking about so many creepy things. When you think about this Epstein conversation, it's in a weird way sometimes. And again, I'm objective and I'm open to things, but some things I'm like, I wasn't open to the whole, like, remember in 2020, when it was like, oh, there's going to be military triumph, the whole QAnon shit. So I try not to seem like I'm coming off that far. However, when you start going down this Epstein rabbit hole with the politicians and the celebrities and all of this other shit, and then transhumanism, it walks you into and y'all are going to think I'm tripping. It walks you to a conversation called frazzle drip. It walks you into a rabbit hole in a conversation on just extracting blood from like young people. It leans you into a conversation around this thing called adrenochrome. It's just a weird thing. Now, you do whatever you want to do with this information. I'm just telling you that, to me, when you have somebody that is Peter Thiel trying to link up with Epstein, who has been alleged to have blackmail rings on internationally known powerful political figures. We're talking about heads of state, captains of industry, just billionaires in general, and putting them in the pocket. And now you have Peter Thiel, who is now in charge of Palantir, which the federal government, this administration, gave the contract to create damn near a panopticon surveillance state all across the place, all of them satellites around the world. When you start peeling back this layer and seeing the connections like this and tying it into this conversation of transhumanism, the weird shit that's happening in certain spots, you almost can't help but to go, okay, let me just, all I ask is everybody to just remain a little bit open to the conversation. Okay? Palantir is a AI surveillance state that is a panopticon. Peter Thiel and that whole situation is Palantir. So what in the world, before he was killed, why would Peter Thiel want to have a sit down with Jeffrey Epstein and all of this other situation? Why? But let's play a little bit more.
Wonder what the former Israeli prime minister was doing on the pedophile island. tough one to figure out. I wonder why he was trying to have his security stay behind. Very bizarre. They say here, Prince Andrew connection. Epstein referenced a business prospect from Prince Andrew about starting a personal protection company in Beijing due to rising kidnappings, hinting at Epstein's questionable international dealings. Also, why would you go to Epstein for a personal protection company unless he has a history in such things, a history in what would effectively be security detail or what would effectively be intelligence-linked stuff, right? Like, to go to him for something like that says he has some expertise on that front. Okay.
The argument has always been that Epstein was 1,000% intelligence. Whether that relationship spans multiple intelligence agencies, Mossad, this, that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There's no, like, there's, it's not even a conversation. Like, this person that just was flying everywhere, just engaging with everyone, that the circumstances around not only his death, as well as his island, as well as his relationships, as well as all of these different things, it's not far-fetched to ask this question. Corporal Kickass, I just seen that. Corporal Kickass just gave his first $50. So he's the first person. We now need 8 more. 8 more folks. GiveSendGo.com/Solutionary to match Corporal Kickass. Corporal Kickass is matching Quantel's $50 commitment. We make this content and have these conversations for you guys to have a sharper understanding and a better way to connect. Tonight's conversation won't be necessarily how to argue against extreme leftists. Tonight's conversation is to make you pay attention to networks. Some of these things that look like they are not separate, like they're not connected, are 1,000% connected. Clint Russell did a good overview of Peter Thiel and Palantir a couple of months ago. It's 1,000% true. I got some of this stuff on here that I'm going to bring up for you guys a little bit later that deals with Palantir. The guys over at Freedom Thought Project do very, very good information all consistently, like damn near once a week as it relates to Palantir, the surveillance state, and things like that. I used the word earlier, panopticon. They are definitely building a panopticon. It's not like it's built. And I mean, in the sense of how much we are accepting of it is a completely different conversation. But as it relates into now we're doing Neuralink, now we're doing robots, now with this whole like surveillance state, even with streaming, you know, this conversation around, yeah, we're just going to stream. We're going to have people walking around streaming and shooting us with cameras all day, right? Oh, I want to be a streamer. I want to be a streamer. There's something strange and voyeuristic about that, but it also comes off like we're attempting to desensitize and get people to be okay and comfortable with the concept of, yes, you want to be surveilled all of the time. And that's, I don't. I personally don't. That's just me, though. Let's play a little bit more.
Unverified but suggestive content. The leaks posted by Distributed Denial of Secrets and sourced from the hacker group Handala lack technical metadata for verification, but include unique details like Epstein's birthday book, adding intrigue to their authenticity. Okay, so a lot of emails here leaked, a lot of emails, and a lot of them were Epstein and Ehud Barak, which, by the way, the connection with Barak is one of the key pieces of evidence to the speculation that Epstein was Mossad. You also have a former girlfriend of Epstein who said that at times he had bragged that he was Mossad, that he was Israeli intelligence.
Right.
So this is another piece of the puzzle here, but Epstein trying to get in tight with Peter Thiel, and then now look at how big Peter Thiel is now.
Pause, number one. But two, do you guys know who bankrolled the vice president, JD Vance? Peter Thiel. The whole time. That was his guy. Put him in position, da-da-da-da. Now, again, conspiracy theorist Maj, we're having conversations about Trump's health not being okay. Now, some of it is just extreme lefties, like, yeah, we can't wait for Trump. You know how they do that. Like, we can't wait for such and such to, they say vile shit. All right? But there's something to be said. Now we're having this conversation around Trump may not be okay. might be unhealthy, this, that, and the third. They said the same thing about Biden when he was gone. Now, Biden's health was 1,000% like fading. We saw his dementia. We saw him walking around like he was one of them fucking Chinese AI robots. Okay? That's not even a convert. Like, that's not difficult. Okay? But when we're talking about this, and last week we had JD Vance say he's willing to step up to be, mind you, last week, not the few days ago where this conversation about Trump's health has popped up. What we're talking about, what I assume is, before I make that statement, way last week, JD Vance randomly says, I'm willing to step up to be the president if Donald Trump, something's wrong with his health. Excuse me. I'm willing to step in. Now, mind you, power, just because you got on a crown doesn't mean you're the ruler. There can be a thin line between, and a stark difference between wearing a crown and ruling. Some of these people want to be king makers. Okay? Not just the king. Most kings get their heads cut off. So power sometimes likes to operate behind. So JD Vance is 1,000% Peter Thiel's guy. Go Google it. Go chat GPT it, whatever, DeepSeek, whatever you want to do. Okay? So now we have JD Vance predictive programming type of statement, in my opinion, a week or two ago saying, yeah, I'm ready to step up to be the president. That this same Peter Thiel, before Epstein was killed, was reaching out to, and again, these are all emails that are coming out. This is a new batch of emails, but nobody's talking about it because half of the conservative room has been told, again, predictive programming, complete 180 by Trump and others. Are we still talking about Epstein? This guy's a loser. There's nothing there. They're blah, 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 blah. And then this shit happens. Mind you, tomorrow at 9:30, 10 o'clock, Thomas Massie, great representative for the great state of Kentucky and his constituents, is having a town hall with 10 survivors and victims of the Epstein clients. But are we talking about that? Absolutely not. Because Trump and others have said there's a nothing burger. This whole administration has made a 180-degree turn as it relates to Jeffrey Epstein, the client list. We got Ghislaine Maxwell out here saying, no, it wasn't nothing. Because why? She wants to get a fucking pardon from this administration. That's not like complicated. That's not complicated to see. That's the same as Diddy right now about the kiss the ring and ask Trump for, you feel me? So tonight's show and conversation is about you guys paying attention to the network. From a show of hands, I want y'all to comment in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button as well. From a show of hands, I want to hear how many people in the chat. I want y'all to be honest. We solutionaries. Put it in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on X, quote, post it. If you're watching on X, put it under the bottom. Let's boost this signal. And this is information that the general public needs to have. Now, again, this guy has 1.96 million subscribers. Most of the people in here, I didn't know who this dude was. And he's talking about this, and this is what I'm talking about. We have to make sure that we're highlighting and boosting the signal. So hit the like button, share this all over the place, comment, whatever. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. How many of you know how to play the game of chess? Just keep it real. This, again, we all family, we all solutionaries. I'm never saying these things to y'all to try to dish y'all or play y'all. That ain't my agenda here, okay? I got a point that I'm making here. So when we're looking at this grand chessboard and looking at it from that perspective and looking at it as such, we start to think about things and network and the networks that are being projected onto us. Hemenica says, I love chess and can play. When you're setting something up or the opposition is setting something up over here, you got to remember that that's their setup. You got to consistently it's a balance of not getting too caught in your offense, forgetting about their offense. You got to remember defense. You got to remember certain plays that they set up. You got to study. You got to read the person. Because a person on the chessboard will play like their personality is until they become an extremely good person, like good chess player. But this is the same thing. We've been talking about the transgender conversation and the culture war. We're not talking about the people that for years have been orchestrating on the chessboard. KP says, I tried learning, but just didn't stick with it. Get back in that fucking chessboard, bro. Outside of the fact that every single person that watches the show, how many people, another question, how many people, give me a comment, how many people are in our Solutionary private group? Okay? Super Weapon says, in chess, it's not this move, but the next one after. You're setting things up. Okay? How many people in here are in our Solutionary community group, private community? Okay? Let's answer that question too, because you got to be around sharper minds. When I tie some of this shit in for y'all tonight, y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. And this ain't so-called black pill. This ain't designed to make y'all feel like nihilistic or we don't have any control. You do, by paying attention and going, that's bullshit, and that's connected to that. Again, if I hear somebody say randomly, JD Vance, bankrolled, since Senate, bankrolled by Peter Thiel, and I recognize that Peter Thiel is a transhumanist, that literally, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Peter Thiel, among others, are doing classes on Satanism. I lie to you not. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Go Google it. Google, or whatever you use, Peter Thiel's Satanism class. It's a private class. I lied to you not. Google it and come back. Come back to the comment section and tell me if Maj you bullshitting or Maj you telling the truth. So when you start connecting transhumanism with potential sexual assault, occult shit, and all of these people being connected, and somehow magically we're not talking about the Epstein client list, and this new information comes out, and it's like this dude was trying to link heavy with Epstein, who clearly was Mossad. Like, I'm being facetious when I say allegedly. Come on, bro. If not only Assad, other intelligence agencies. This is not super deep shit. This is just paying attention and looking at the network. Okay? That's what tonight's show is about. Getting you to pay attention to networks. This is why I'm saying we have to make our own network. I want every single one of you to be in our Solutionary community. Not even just so we can talk about deep conspiracies. No. When you go to a different city and you're in our Solutionary private community, you say, yo, who's in Baltimore? Yo, I'm in Baltimore. Let's link. What restaurants? What's this? When you go to an anti-gun city and you want to go to a place with somebody that you might not have a license to carry for, and you may not be like me yet, where I carry regardless of if I got a license to carry or not, because I don't, right? And you link up with somebody that can hold you down. That's like minds. That's the power of a network. This conversation is not about creating so-called black pills. This conversation is about recognizing what they do, study the fucking wolves, and we be wolves and lions for righteousness with our own network. So I keep badgering y'all to get this goal done so I can stop with the fucking fundraising, so we can buy this building, so we can get back fully to work, so we can develop the network. These people are not all-knowing, are not all-powerful. They can be beaten. They can be beaten with our networks, with our intelligence, with our liberty, with our freedom, with our working together. A part of the reason why they're powerful is because they network. This whole like fucking lone wolf shit, this theory that media tells us, right? Like anytime I hear somebody say, oh, he shot him, he was operating as a lone wolf, get the fuck out of here. First of all, wolves don't hunt alone. That's so that even the phraseology is wrong. Okay? They move in packs. So this theory that we're supposed to not work together is you're supposed to be an individual for sure, but you work together with cooperative economics. These guys are not acting like they working together in networks. These emails show that Peter Thiel was definitely trying to link with Epstein, the well-connected network dude. Okay? Listen to that. Listen to what Jimenez just said. Thiel has donated to orgs like the Methuselah Foundation and SENS Research Foundation, which are research, radical life extension, and anti-aging biotechnology. It's not fact. I mean, it's not fake. That's a fact. Okay? This isn't us saying this to be funny or to like, ooh, I'm gonna get you to buy. Like this ain't This ain't like fake shit. This is saying, hey, look at this. How they get us is they get us to drift, they get us distracted, and they get us to stay off the topic. The conversation should be solid faith, solid family, solid fitness, solid finance, and solid firearms. That's what we about. If you can touch those bases with your network, come on, man. And you guys are going to share the information, whether that's financial information, conversations like this, but we have to recognize the power in networks. They do. They do. Let's play a little bit more and see what he's talking about.
Right? Like, look at how, he's the Palantir guy. He's the one who's cutting all these deals with Trump, and he's the one who's trying to create a mass blackmail database on all Americans with information on all Americans, everything you've ever done online, all the facts about you. He's the one who's trying to create that database. And you had Epstein, who was trying to get in on the ground floor with Peter Thiel for those things. Again, the idea that this guy was just some creepy perv. And yes, him and Ghislaine were trafficking children, but the story goes, Ghislaine was only trafficking them to Epstein. Which
she's in jail. He dead. It ain't no clients. It ain't no client list, but she's still in jail. And she about to flip her whole conversation. Her conversation is going to be like, nah, it wasn't that bad. Because she needs to be in alignment. And this is where I give some pushback on the Trump conversation. Trump doing that 180 about the Epstein client list is bullshit to me. I know some of y'all going to get mad at me for saying that. It's bullshit to me. At one moment, I thought it was just, because there were rumors that maybe Epstein introduced Melania, his current wife, to Trump. That was a theory, and that's a perspective, and I'm saying theory because I can't hardcore prove it. So I want to say theory, respectfully, okay? But even that, I start to go like, you're going too hard against this list, because that's an easy fix. When I knew Epstein, I kicked him out of my clubs. When I knew him, he did introduce me to Melania. I have a beautiful marriage. We have a beautiful, beautiful family. That's an easy one-liner that solves that. But he went in the administration, all of the people that was all so hard on like, yeah, this Epstein client list thing. I watched Bongino. I've been on Bongino's show a few times. That was his whole thing. It seemed like soon as he got in the FBI, that shit switched. It's almost like this movie, The Last Train. There's a movie with Bradley Cooper. It's like a B movie. It's a horror. Have y'all seen that movie? If you saw it, put it in the comment section. It's called like the Midnight Train or The Last Train, the Midnight Meat Train or some shit. He's a photographer, and he winds up falling asleep on a train like a subway, like in New York. And he misses the last train, and he's on it, and he goes and he sees something that's so insane. I don't want to destroy it for anybody that hasn't seen the movie. Well, Keimer just said it, right? There's these things, yeah, that movie. There's these things, and he sees them, and this guy that he sees killing people, first he sees a guy killing people, and he doesn't know why the guy's killing people, but he photographs him, and the guy follows him and finds out where he's at, and da-da-da-da-da, and all of this other shit. But there's so much more to the story of why this guy was killing somebody on the last train. But once you find out, once Bradley Cooper's character finds out why he had to kill this person on the train or these people on the last train, then he winds up having to damn near be a part of it too. So I feel like unless it's got to be something like that, because every single person that was gung-ho like the Epstein list is this, is this, is this, is this. Soon as they got into this administration, they did a fucking 180. And that's questionable to me. It's questionable to me. Tom Alexandrovich says a lot, so imagine who else is on the list. Q-Tip says, I'm going to keep it real, Maj. Trump is full of shit. I knew that from the start, but unfortunately, he was the better of two evils. He just says what most people want to hear. I want to be clear. We got to stop the lesser of two evils. We get to not pick evil. We get to say we want to sit this one out. We got to raise our massive vibration and consciousness by going, no, we don't have to be forced. Because ironically, as we say that, right? Ironically, as we say, Kamala would have been worse. I contend that she wouldn't have been worse. Do you know why? Because we're watching conservatives defend Trump and some of his bullshit moves. I'm not saying that all of these that this guy says or whatever are correct. But some of the shit that Trump is DC. Now he's talking about, oh, we're going to send troops into fucking Chicago. Federal troops. This is standing army shit that the founding fathers said absolutely not to. All right? That being the case, if Kamala or Joe would have tried this shit, conservatives would have been 1,000% against it. So we wouldn't have conservatives right now who are literally, after the transgender shooting last week, they're literally asking for red flag laws on white males, because that transgender dude was a white male. I don't care what he called himself. He's still a white male. So now we're saying we need red flags. We, meaning on right of center. We seeing this, and these guys are calling for red flag laws. That shit wouldn't have happened if Kamala was in office. They would have actually, even if just for useful idiot's sake, would have been like, fuck her. Fuck the left. But now they okay with it because Trump doing it. Pam Bondi was a horrible pick. I guess now we see why Matt Gaetz couldn't have been in the position. Matt Gaetz got damn near shook at one of the events I was looking at. Somebody walked up to him, tapped him on the shoulder, gave him something to read. Matt Gaetz looked scared as shit. And then now I can't do the job. Now we get Pam Bondi. I don't think it's the lesser of two evils. I'm contending that many Americans that would have pushed back aren't pushing back. So we got to stop this lesser of two evils argument. But before we move forward with Main Man, I want you guys to, let's look real quick. Dre with the $10 super chat. Appreciate that, Dre. So now we at what? 50, 60? We had one match. Corporal Kick-Ass match. I saw it right here. I got the email. I'm on my phone as well, y'all. Corporal Kick-Ass gave $50. We need 8 more folks. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Support the work. Dre just gave 10. He says bullets, banks, books, bread, and bench press. All else is bullshit. Requirements: armed and trained, financially secure, self-informal, educated, intentional diet, physical fitness. Dre is explaining the Solutionary 9 and all of the things that we focus and help you with, help you transform your life with in Solutionary University. So every donor at the $100 level or more, $99 level or more, you're going to get access to the things and all of the information that Dre's talking about right there. Okay? Jimenez says, I think the Epstein files are destroyed and were destroyed a long time ago. Trump is too embarrassed to say so. I don't think so. And I don't care. Whether they destroyed or not, you don't say one person on your team, your administration says they on my desk. You give out these fucking binders. See, this is what we got to remember. They get us with distraction. They get us with short-term memory shit. You got a whole bunch of so-called influencers. Remember them binders? And I disliked a lot of them motherfuckers. I like Scott Pressler. That's my homie. Right? But he was there. They gave him those binders like it was phase 1. Did we ever get phase 2? No. So on one hand, you say, I got them on my desk. Next hand, you say, give the influencers, so-called influencers, give them the binders. Then you say it's bullshit. Then you say the list doesn't exist. Then you get Bongino and Kash Patel, who were trusted at the time, to say, hey, it's nothing there. That's a 180. So either you're lying now or you were lying then. Either way, it's dishonorable. Q-Tip says there isn't enough Majs in office in order to start making power moves. I disagree, Q-Tips. Let me tell you where I disagree. We gonna make more Majs. And it ain't Majs. It's Solutionaries. This is why I keep telling y'all. Everybody donate over $100. Help us get rid of this whole fucking fundraising thing. Help us buy the building. And you're going to get access to the Solutionary University with all of the information to make you a solutionary. I'm not saying this because I just want to sell y'all shit. I could just sell y'all dope-ass merch. We got sweatsuits and Scullies and fucking all types of fly designs coming for the fall and the winter. I could just focus on that and just be on my acreage and just hanging out. I want more solutionaries. We have to create the type of people that we respect. We have to. And that's what the Solutionary lifestyle, the Solutionary 9, and Solutionary University is about. I want you all to be in this fucking group, but I want y'all to put something up for it. I want y'all to pay it forward for somebody else so you can get access to it. Notice, I didn't say, yo, y'all, just go to solutionaryuniversity.org and sign up for Solutionary University at $99. It's not what I said. That option exists. I'm telling y'all, let's get 10 people to donate $100. That's $1,000 that takes down on our fundraising, helps us buy the building, keep the work going, removing the financial barrier to entry for other people that we need to bring into our community, especially from urban demographics. So you still get the same thing, and we help them too. One hand wash the other. Both hands get together and wash the face. All right? But I want y'all to, let's read this real quick before we continue with the gentleman here. Let's read who Peter Thiel is. He's a billionaire entrepreneur, investor, and political activist who co-founded PayPal and Palantir Technologies. He was also Facebook's first outside investor. Now we're getting into the Zuckerberg conversation. Thiel's wealth comes from PayPal, his early recognition of social media's potential, and his hedge fund, Clarium Capital. He's also the founder of Founders Fund, a venture VC guy. Okay? Yes, Elon Musk and Peter Thiel have been longtime friends and allies, though their relationship has experienced some difficult periods. I believe some of that difficult period bullshit is cat. That's more the stuff that they say to the general public so y'all think they're not cool no more. No different then. It was all Doge. It was all we gonna get Elon in here. We're gonna get Doge to evaluate shit, to justify them giving all conservatives giving this information over to fucking Elon Musk and all of those types of guys and Doge, and now we had a public spat. These motherfuckers understand I can control the nuclear codes. I can control trade secrets and the power of corporate espionage. But you expect me to believe that Donald Trump and Elon Musk had a Twitter beef and they separated and they not friends no more. So now the co-founders that have similar ideology and have known each other for 20, 30 years, Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, their friendship is shaky now. No, people know each other when they need to know each other publicly, and they pretend like they don't know each other when they don't need to know each other publicly. Okay? This is the difference. They've been friends for most of the time they've known each other despite da-da-da-da-da. Thiel was an early supporter of Musk's entrepreneurial endeavors, which helped shape Musk's career trajectory. Why am I saying this to y'all? Peter Thiel shaped Elon Musk. Sometimes you don't need to be the king or the person wearing the crown. You can be the king maker. If y'all, I'm gonna dork out for a minute. I'm gonna geek out. I watch Game of Thrones on repeat at this point, right? Who was really in control? King Joffrey or his grandfather? Who was in control? Y'all, if y'all don't know, Joffrey died. He was the asshole. I'm so glad. I hated that character. Yeah. Hated him. Okay? Hated him. He died. But before he died, who was in power? Tyrion Lannister? What's the father Lannister? Forget his name. Or Tywin. That was his name. Tywin Lannister. It wasn't fucking Joffrey. It wasn't. So, Peter Thiel helped shape Musk's career trajectory. Okay? Shared goals. Both Musk and Thiel have been active in various political spheres, with Thiel leveraging his network and Musk using his companies to influence policy. Thiel presents as more of a left of center dude. Musk now is looking like he's going extreme right, conservative with X. Why? Because both of them are building neural networks, surveillance states, Doge, which now we magically don't talk about. We got none of the Doge cuts codified into law. We actually got more fucking spending. So now it was able to look like, oh, him and Trump had a split So now we're not talking about Doge. What all of the information that you had access to, what did y'all do with it? Now it looks like Thiel is on the left and Musk is on the right. Oh, maybe I'm going to do the America party. Yada, 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 the fuck, yada. Because both sides need a hero that is presented to them. And they both believe in this transhumanism shit. I'm telling you. This is Peter Thiel's husband, Matt Danzian. Okay? Guys, this thing is connected. It's always been connected. And when you tie that in with this conversation about, I want to be very, very clear. This is not about pretending as if this is separate from these guys trying to align with intelligence agencies. Is separate from them trying to align with Epstein. Why is this important? SpaceX, Neuralink, shared history as co-founders of PayPal, where their companies X.com and Confinity merged to form the company. Do I need to explain this further? No, I don't. What is tonight's show about? Tonight's show is I want you all to pay attention. When you hear a name, the Indian guy that owns the Golden State Warriors, okay? When you hear that name, do a Google search. Find out how they found their wealth. Find out what their political alliances are. Find out what their ideologies are. Use ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and Grok and all of this shit. Ask more questions. How many of y'all knew Peter Thiel was gay? You didn't. You didn't. These are the questions that you have to ask. And then you ask questions like, this is interesting. Why would Peter Thiel be very, very interested in young people's blood? Wait a minute. Now earlier I had the conversation. I was talking about how we talking about frazzle drip. Google it. Right? Reverse engineer everything. Connect. Why is this motherfucker? Did y'all do the homework that I told y'all? I said, yo, somebody go Google. Is Peter Thiel having a seminar, a private seminar on Satanism? Like, he is, but this ain't even it. Peter Thiel is very, very interested in young people's blood. So when we're talking about frazzle drip, when we're talking about adrenochrome, these theories, because I wasn't there. I was inadvertently invited to a fucking spirit cooking one time. I didn't stay. I didn't know what it was. But you hear this shit and you start connecting these dots. You go, wait, well, what the fuck is transhumanism? Why is Peter Thiel? Somebody find it. Google it right now. Put me to the side. Google it. Peter Thiel doing a Satanism workshop. Whatever. Use those words. Come back and tell me if it's true or not. But then you look at this. Peter Thiel is very, very interested in young people's blood. The contrarian venture capitalist believes transfusions may hold the key to his dream of living forever. Transhumanism. Listen, even if these guys are 1,000% like really, really nice guys, and I'm taking all of this shit out of context, it just looks weird. Even if they're really, really nice guys and they really have the best intention, I am of the belief that we get some time in this body, we extend it as long as possible, and in this body, and then we're done. I see every fucking horror movie, dystopian movie shows us that you should not try to do this shit. But yet and still, we have people like this that are like, yeah, we should do this shit. Yeah, let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Just because. I got that from Jason Basner's page in the Free Thought Project. Let's check this out. Let's just check this out, guys. Let's just see what this is. White House taps Palantir for government-wide database surveilling Americans. The Trump administration continues to march technocracy forward as it partners with Palantir to usher in a new wave of illegal mass surveillance. This is from the Libertarian Institute. In a move raising red flags with civil rights organizations, the Trump administration is working with tech firm Palantir to develop a database for numerous government agencies to collect and store information on all Americans. This is that Patriot Act 2.0 shit. And some of us got duped. I fell for it. I was like, yo, I don't like Kamala. She's stupid. And I was doing it from an economic perspective. I say this all of the time. 45.6% fucking capital gains tax on the federal level. Fuck you. Right? Nonetheless, according to a New York Times report, a key Palantir product known as Foundry has been used by at least 4 U.S. federal agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security and Health and Human Services. The firm is now speaking with other cabinet-level agencies. The widespread use of Foundry across the federal government will allow a number of agencies access. Oh, let me make sure. Oh, hold on, y'all. Will allow a number of agencies access to hundreds of data points on citizens and others through government databases, including their bank account numbers, the amount their student debt, their medical claims, and any disability status. The program has caused concern among civil rights groups and former Palantir employees. Quote, data that is collected for one reason should not be repurposed for other ones. One ex-Palantir official told the Times. Combining all that data, even with the noblest of intentions, significantly increases the risk of misuse. What are we talking about? Immigration and Customs Enforcement, IRS, and Social Security Administration are all expected to have access to the database. The system will work with Palantir's Gotham software. Why the fuck would you name it that? Which is designed to analyze behavioral patterns in real time, flag potential threats, and support decisions around public safety and fraud detection. We've seen this in 2 movies before that told us we shouldn't fucking do this shit. We've seen it. One of the movies was called Terminator, Skynet. Don't do it. And we've seen it before in another movie called fucking Minority Report. At what point are we going to say we have to make sure that we're working together with our own network, with people that are sharing this type of information and pushing back against this? How do you push back against this? Again, community. First step, community. Private communities that are working together to strengthen each other and inform each other and empower each other. That's number 1. Number 2, you get to vote with your dollar. I don't spend money with companies that take money or do business with these bigger companies. Does that mean that you got to do a little bit more homework? Yeah, if it's you lone wolfing it. But if you want a solutionary private community, we got motherfuckers in there, thousands of them from across the country just sharing and helping each information. Hey, y'all, don't buy from this company because they tied to this company and da-da-da-da. It's like having the wildest conspiracy theorists in the world in one fucking community that everybody can tap into. This is not complicated, guys. It is going to cost you a certain level of commitment, though. Are you committed to community pushing back against the bullshit? This is why I keep telling y'all, donate $99 or more. I'm going to give you access to the things that exist in the community now and all of the stuff that comes in the future. Welding, Bitcoin. The whole purpose is for us to make sure that we have a private community. We got our own server. Y'all seen they kicked me off of YouTube like last week. Oh, you said something about the transgender shooter? Get him out of here. We don't own this, but we can own our own communities and network with each other. I'm telling y'all to do these things because it makes sense. I'm telling y'all to do these things because they're not like, it's not like a oops. It's not like a oops. I'm telling y'all what's real. It's not me just making it up. Let me pull this up real quick. This last one. No, actually, I think that's a good place to stop. Listen, y'all. I want to share this with everybody. These are not conversations that I'm having with you all Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm not having just only a few hundred of you. We don't need 10,000 right now, but we do need you 2, 3, 4, 500 to be on board, to be in this community, to push the information, to share this with others. These people didn't get billions of dollars by accident. They got billions of dollars by A, providing a service, B, selling a product. We got a product that everybody can make money off of. Again, everybody should shoot me a DM. Whether you in this community or not, you should 1000% be making money off the merch. We have an affiliate program. It costs you nothing. We have a product and a service that we're making available to you. I want you to make money off of the merch, the products. So everybody eats. Everybody eats. As we gain more notoriety and more strength, because we very on point and our blueprint is solid. But as we get to maybe 500,000, 1 million members, and that continues to grow, we strengthen and help each other. There is power in networks. This isn't about me telling this to you to just make you buy Solutionary University, the Solutionary 9. The price of that is going up January the 1st to $999. I'm telling y'all now. We got 59 days for the fundraising. Then I'm shifting a lot of energy, win, lose, or draw. We're shifting a lot of that energy more and more and more into Solutionary University. And we got a few months after that. January the 1st, so access to Solutionary University is going to be $999. It's $99 now. And you will not be able to donate because the fundraising component is going to be done October the 31st. Why am I saying this? I only want people in that's going to be committed. I only want people in that's serious. I don't want the fucking, like some of the people that's in the community now in the Telegram group, if they on bullshit, I'm going to get rid of them out of the Telegram group. They can still have access to the other things. We don't need 10 million sheep. We need 1 million solutionaries. See, they get their power and derive their power from 10 million, a billion sheep because they want to control you. We want to develop a network so we can resist control. I want y'all to be a part of that. Okay? I'm telling y'all what it is. I don't, me, Bookworm, other team members, we don't put this stuff together to communicate with y'all just because we like, yeah, let's get the clicks. We know we get the clicks. The clicks, the shit that gets the clicks is racism, sexism, drama. This is not sexy like that. This is solutions that will empower you. Do I say it in a cool way and joking? Yeah, cool. That's great. I don't expect the people that don't want to be initiated into a higher order, a higher lifestyle, a higher vibration. I don't expect that to be everybody. I expect that to be a few of y'all. And I'm telling y'all, this shit is out here. Somebody commented earlier and said, let me see, let me go find it real quick. Somebody said, they Googled from ChatGPT, Himenica said, Thiel is conducting a series of private off-the-record lectures on the theme of the Antichrist, organized by a Christian nonprofit in Acts 17 Collective in San Francisco. I'm not making this up. Scroll up. Look, the comments is on the screen. Himenica, comment that real quick. Copy and paste that, Himenica, and put it back so it can be at the top of the, right, everybody can see it. I'm not making this up. So the dude that's into transhumanism, that funded JD Vance, that funded Elon Musk's the start of his career, that is into Neuralink and transhumanism and young people's blood, was trying to connect with Jeffrey Epstein before he was suicided, is also giving the billionaire, is also giving off the record private classes on Satanism from a nonprofit in San Francisco. If I'm lying, I'm flying. If they're networking that way, and I'm not the smartest man in the world. I can figure out all of this stuff. But if I can figure it out and distill it and share it with you all, and you all get sharper and smarter and are able to look at the networks again. Reverse engineer. You hear a name and somebody that owns something, run to your chat GPT and find out absolutely where they got their money from, who their political affiliations are, who they've bankrolled, or who bankrolled them. It's right there again. Thiel is conducting a series of private off-the-record lectures on the theme of the Antichrist. These are being organized by a Christian nonprofit. Mind you, this is the same Peter Thiel, before I wrap up, y'all. Somebody mentioned it earlier in the chat. This is the same Peter Thiel that earlier they asked him about, you think it's a good thing that humanity continues to be on the planet, right? I'm paraphrasing. And he hesitated. He was like, well, I mean, and the guy joked and gave him a way out and was like, that's a hell of a, that's a long pause. You don't sound confident. And he didn't like make the joke and then like get back to the answer. He had to think about, do I want the human race to continue on Earth? That's weird as shit. This is all the same person that has been in these new Epstein lists that this administration is not fucking talking about, that actually they're acting like it's not a big deal. This information just came out and we talking about we should red flag transgenders. We are, if we don't get in a fucking community together, we are done. Fucking cooked. But I have faith in this. We ain't doing the black pill shit, so-called black pill. Anyway, guys, givesendgo.com/solutionary. We had 2 people commit to $50. We need 8 more. Guys, givesendgo.com/solutionary. Support the work. I ain't just putting this stuff together because I like look handsome and like talking to y'all. I do like talking to y'all, and I am handsome, but it's towards a different end. Guys, 59 days. We need 530 more donors at the $100 level. I'm going to sound like a broken record until October because I want to finish this, buy this building, or continue to do even more Second Amendment and community work. I work for y'all. Givesendgo.com/solutionary. Going to ask everybody to do 2 things. Repost this. Share it, quote post it if you're watching on X after it's shaved as well. Quote post it, yo, y'all, check this out. Share the space all over the place and donate to the work. Givesendgo.com/solutionary. If you're watching on X, it's my pinned post above. If you're watching on Rumble and or YouTube, it's right there beneath me. Givesendgo.com/solutionary. Everybody pitch in. I will see you all tomorrow at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern. The same channel, youtube.com/Maj2Ray, rumble.com/Maj2Ray, x.com/Maj2Ray999. I keep telling y'all, the price of the Solutionary University is going up to $999. It's not an accident. It's not a coincidence that it's the same number. Anyway, I see you all tomorrow. Appreciate you all. Be safe. Be solutionary.